All right, everybody, and we are live on a Managing Happiness webinar with my good friend, Mr. Michael G. Dash, also known as Mr. Activated, also known as Mr. Chasing the High.
Mhm.
Michael's been a good friend of mine for many years. We met through YEC, it's Young Entrepreneurs Council, and yeah, became friends through that. And Michael took the Managing Happiness course, and he also is very dedicated to personal development himself. Actually, maybe Michael, if you give a quick introduction to who you are and what you do before we get
Yeah,
rolling.
thanks. Thanks so much for having me on, David. I mean, I really believe in the Managing Happiness program because it shifted a lot and helped accelerate my growth by really allowing me to dig into what my vision and my mission were in the main areas of my life that were important, which are my family life, of course, my personal life, health, wealth, all that, and then my business life. So I was let's say I'm in recovery for over 20 years from multiple addictions, including entrepreneurship, which was my
I'm still addicted.
yeah. I'm trying to recover from it, but I'm also addicted to the rush of entrepreneurship. But it's a much healthier one, you would think, than the others, but it can be just as detrimental. So I wrote a book called Chasing the High. I had my own business for 13 years. I was in a 6 year legal battle, mostly because my ego was allowing me to make decisions and I was emotionally detached from what my true essence and soul was as a person and what my purpose was. So that's a little bit about my background in 15 seconds. And the Managing Happiness application really allowed me to focus my efforts and to see where there were gaps between what I perceived my value system to be, what my actions were, what my mission and vision was, and really the impact I wanted to make in this world.
Beautiful. So actually, let me share my screen. I'll give you a little bit background on managing happiness if you're not familiar with it. Managing happiness is a productivity system or a way of living to manage your life the same way you would manage a business. And it's all started many years ago, 10 plus years ago, when um, actually it's 9 years, yeah, almost 10 years, when I came home from a long meeting about roles and responsibilities at my last business, which was Max CDN. And our daughter Emma was still in diapers back then. And I told my wife, hey, honey, look, Emma has a full diaper. And my wife got really, really upset that I said this. And I was like thinking, why do we fight about this right now? And then I had the big epiphany that we had never talked about the roles and responsibilities in our personal lives. And I thought, and let's sit down and write these down. And this is exactly what we did the next morning. And this took away 80% of all the friction we had in our relationship. I thought, holy cow, if this works so well, maybe we take other aspects from our, from business principles and apply it to our personal life. And it's just what we did, figuring out our mission, vision, values, our habits, our goals, having a shared calendar, shared to do system, all the stuff you do in business and apply it to our personal lives. And this worked so well that I want to share this with others. And it works really well. I used to be stressed out and all over the place. And now applying these things, I'm running a portfolio of businesses and businesses are growing, business is good. But the most important thing, I also have a very happy personal and family life, and I'm also very healthy and fit. And yeah, it's part big contribution or big reason why this is the case is the managing happiness system. And I want to share quickly with you and together with Michael what the elements are of managing happiness. A key thing is figuring out, just like in the business, your mission and vision for the most important areas of your life, and also the goals, of course. So for the role for yourself, for mind, body, spirit. This is my personal mission and vision. And of course, I have the same thing for my professional life. Me as a professional, how do I want to show up? And also me as the family man, how do I want to show up and be there for my family and also the goals that I have with my family. And as you know, what you measure will improve. Business 101. Each of these areas has objectives and key results and initiatives. And yeah, it works really well once you really understand what you actually really want out of life. And then we give you tools to actually also get these things. Another
Yeah, I
thing you
think that's,
figure out,
sorry to jump in, David. I just want to say, I think
please.
that's an important point to recognize is that, a lot of the people that are watching this, maybe entrepreneurs and know exactly what their vision is in their business, but they may not have such a clear vision in with regards to their health. Not just their physical health, their mental health, their spiritual health, their emotional health. So these are all really key areas that if we're not focused on are going to take away from the success we have in our business. Eventually, we will have burnout. We will lean on other substances or other addictive things that are not adding value to what our mission and vision are. So we'll help you figure those things out along the way.
Yes, thank you. Very good point. Even if I used to be a one-trick pony, to just only focus on business and magically hope that all the other stuff kind of falls into place, like the family stuff over there and health on the other side. But once you get clarity on all these areas, it becomes much easier, and also it's very short-sighted to only focus on the business stuff, which entrepreneurs tend to do. Because if you do not take care of your personal relationships, you end up with a divorce, which will also massively negatively impact your business, or you end up with health issues or addictions. So it's all not good for the team. So it's good to have like this healthy symbiotic relationship with all the most important areas and people in your life. And of course, core values. And Michael is a very interesting exercise to figure out if you're actually living up to your core values. They may, when you write them down, they may sound good on paper and you think it's really the case, but Michael has a system to actually figure out if you're really living up to your core values.
Yeah, we call it the alignment assessment. And I first developed this system by trying it on myself. I had a perceived value system, and the most important value for me, I perceived, was my health. And then when I went through the alignment assessment, which basically allows you to sit down and track how you're allocating your time over a 24-hour period on average. Obviously, every day is not the same, but in an average week, what do you allocate 24 hours on? And when I looked at it, I realized that I was going to sleep at all different times during the week. And when I looked at why that was happening, it was because I was out at different events all week long. 5 out of the 7 days, I would be out at an event connecting with other people. And then I was able to recognize that actually connection and community are my number one value, not health, based on my actions. Now, if I want to change that, because I do, I want health to be my number one value, because without health, nothing else matters. So now at least I've recognized it and I have some self recognition. So now I can change it and I can shift my habits, which David will get into a little bit later. I can shift these habits so that they align more with what I truly want my value system to be. And it's okay if you don't want to shift, but the key is to have awareness so you know what your true value system is versus what your perceived value system is, and then make any adjustments along the way. And that was super powerful for me.
Yes, I agree. It's I guess business 101, what you measure will improve. Once you kind of actually figure out what you're doing, you can adjust. And as the exercise that Michael just mentioned, we have like a bunch of exercises in the Managing Happiness program that will help you to figure out these things, what you really want out of life, your mission and vision and values and goals. And it sounds pretty daunting once you sit down in front of a piece of paper and figure out what's my actual vision, what do I want out of life. But we have a few cool exercises like the funeral exercise or your bucket list exercise or the wheel of life that will give you some insights in what you actually want out of life. Maybe, Michael, you want to maybe explain how some of these exercises work?
Yeah, sure. The funeral exercise, which when I first said, what the heck is this? Um, but it basically gives you an opportunity to write your eulogy out. And for those of you who aren't familiar with a eulogy, it would like just pretend you're 99 years old and you have one day to live and you want to summarize your life to everyone you know and, kind of write it down and read them, everything you want to be remembered for, everything you accomplished. This is your eulogy. So we have everybody write out their eulogy at a certain point throughout this course. And it allows us to then look at the vision and the mission, vision being where we want to go, mission being how we're going to get there. Are those actually aligned with our eulogy and what we want to be remembered for? And if they're not, then we have an opportunity to realign them, to either shift our eulogy because we're actually not working towards the things we want to be remembered for, or to shift our vision and mission so we are working towards the things we want to be remembered for. So all of these exercises combine and fit together. It's almost like a checks and balances system because a lot of times, our mind is the most powerful thing that our these bodies we wear around has. Our mind can overpower anything if we allow it to. And that's why it's important to have these checks and balances in because a lot of times we think and we believe certain things that we're actually not acting out, and not because we don't want to, but because we haven't planned properly.
Yes. The funeral exercise for me came organically. My wife Yoda went like 10 years ago or so, went through breast cancer. Knock on wood, she's doing great today. But this was a really big wake up moment for me. And I was imagining laying in my deathbed, looking back at my life, thinking, did I really do what I was supposed to do? Did I have the impact I want to have? And basically, did I live the life that I consider myself a life well lived? And, for me, impact was always a big thing. So figuring out if I'm having enough impact. And back then, my business, I thought the business that I was running back then was not providing enough impact in the world. And so, yeah, we ended up selling the business because I was looking for something else to do and took a few iterations, but then coming to what I'm doing today, managing happiness is definitely a key thing for me to have a positive impact. The big idea around managing happiness is to build the Toastmasters of personal development. For those of you familiar with Toastmasters, it's a self-organized clubs all over the world that help people with public speaking. And we want to do the same thing for personal development. Basically, groups that get together, figure out what you really want out of life, and then how to get it. And a key thing of getting what you actually want are your habits. I'm a firm believer that habits determine pretty much everything in your life. If you're rich or if you're poor, if you're happy or unhappy, if you're obese or in shape, healthy or sick, it all boils down to which habits you cultivate. And so once you figure out what you really want out of life, or using the wheel of life to grade the different areas of your life, figuring out in which area do you want to work, and then you have your habits to hold you accountable, similar to the alignment exercise that Michael mentioned. Figuring out what you're actually doing all day, is this in line with what you want to do and who you want to be. And on habits, something that's really supporting is your habits is you will figure out your not to-do list in the Managing Happiness program. Not to-do lists, everybody has a to-do list, but not a lot of people have a not to-do list. For me, it's, for example, no phones before finishing my morning routine, or not eating after 9 p.m. Because if I eat after 9 p.m., I will get an energy boost and then I will not go to bed, and then my morning routine suffers. Or not traveling without Emma and Yoda for 10 days per month. And These things come from your error log. Error log is a place where you write down the problems that you're having, and then contemplating on solutions. And once you have found a good solution that is working, then you can add them to your not to do list. I.e., the not traveling without Yoda or Emma for more than 10 days per month came from me and Yoda always having arguments about me traveling too much. And then we sat down and I said, okay, how much is acceptable to travel for me per month? She said, 10 days per month. I said, okay, cool. What if I have to travel more? Then you bring us. Done. And we never had this issue again. So, yeah, figuring these things out is definitely very, very powerful to help you to be on your personal A game and to get
So this
what you
is
want.
this is helping your marriage life, is what you're saying. I mean, I'm not married, so I don't have anyone to answer to yet. But this isn't just about business. This is helping your personal and family life.
Yeah, everything that I touch as a human, like the different areas of my life, helps me to be on my A game and to remove friction points in my life. Basically, the whole managing happiness system is a crutch for me to just be the husband I want to be, the father that I want to be. Because I used to be a one trick pony, just solely focusing on business and neglecting everything else. And yeah, now with these crutches, it actually allows me to be who I want to be and live up to the different roles that I have in my life. Because not just business and yeah, this affected everything, also business, very very in a very positive manner.
Yeah, and like when you say that, it just like gives me like these chills because that was me also in a very negative way. Yeah, I was focusing and building a business. So from the outside, it was and well, from the inside, it was filling my ego, right? And maybe, I was substantially, I had a bunch of money I could play with, but basically, it was really hindering my growth as a human and my connection to others. I was just completely disconnected. So one trick pony, that's exactly what it was. And I imagine there's a lot of people out there who are watching this now or who see this on the replay, and that really will strike a chord with them as well.
Yes. Oh, by the way, on comments, hey Evan, how you doing, man? Long time no talk. I don't know if you see
What's
see
up,
the comments.
Evan?
Evan just commented, yeah. Hmm.
Evan's a
Evan's
great
also
guy.
working on. Yes, he's
Evan's a
he's
great
also
guy.
working on.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, please roll.
No, I was just going to say, I've been working with Evan down here in Tulum, Mexico, where I live. He's heading up a big men's organization. We're doing men's work and supporting each other in our lives, both emotionally and a variety of other ways called mentorship. So keep on the lookout for Evan.
Yes, yeah. Shout out to Evan. Um, by the way, random thing has nothing to do with this stream or with the topics, but since you mentioned where you are in Tulum. I'm personally living in Turkey, in Bodrum, Turkey, and for those of you who may have seen what's going on in Turkey right now, it's really, really devastating. Thank God on our side, we're in the west, southwest of Turkey. We did not feel anything of the earthquake, but in the southeast of Turkey, it's unbelievable what's going on there. A close friend who is from there, he drove there yesterday to help out, and he said between 25 and 30 of his family members died in this horrible earthquake, and they're predicting 20,000 deaths. It's really absolutely mind-boggling what's going on there.
Will
um
you be able to drop a link on the replay for where people might be able to support a cause?
Actually, I'll not wait for the replay. I will figure this link out right now, so in case you want to help, this is a good place to donate to. Where is it? Fatih sent me this link.
As you find that, this is a great a way to really show your generosity. Generosity is such a powerful force in this world, and karma is real. And every single day, since I've made my transformation, And previously, the only people I was generous to was myself and my circle of friends. But since I've done a lot of personal development work, I find that generosity fuels me as a human. And I, would challenge everybody listening to this to see ways you can be generous. And that's not just about giving money, although in this case, that's what we need you to do. But it's about giving your time, giving advice, being a friend, holding space. So I'll step off of my little soapbox,
Actually, you
and
can
we'll get.
stay on the topic of the soapbox, because being in
Yeah,
the right mindset is like a super powerful thing, and also really important in the managing happiness concept to help you to be in the right mindset. And being a state of gratitude, for example, or like helping, being of service. A lot of your problems go away if you help others, or are in a state of gratitude. We tell people to find their gratitude rock. I can actually pick out my gratitude rock. I have it in my pocket. So where is it here? Every morning I pick up this rock and I go through the things I'm grateful for: my healthy body, my daughter, my wife, friends, businesses, the roof over our head, and all these things. And then I realize, that everything, it all is well. Brings me into this all is well state of mind, because we used to always, I guess it's a human condition to always look at the hair in the soup, at the negative things, and get totally consumed by this. Because most of the time, these bad things that are going on are just, a sandcorn, dust in the wind. It's like it's not really relevant. Especially seeing what's going on in Turkey. It's all of our problems that we have in a day to day is it's just a joke when you compare it to what people are going through. Like being outside, pretty much in like several cities, almost the entire cities are collapsed. People are on the street in their pajamas with freezing temperatures. It's really mind-boggling. But anyway, yeah, it's really crazy. And like doing these exercise, like the gratitude rock exercise, really puts you into an all-square state of mind, and it makes it much easier to perform. And one
yeah.
another.
I think it's important to point out, David, that like having a negative mindset, it's not your fault. Okay, it's not whoever's listening to this. If that's you, it's not your fault, right? Our brains are there for a reason to keep us safe. That's their number one job, is to keep us safe. So they're always in this fight or flight stage. Okay. Then you can choose what it is. So the initial thought that might come up if you haven't trained your brain might be a negative one because it's out of fear and protection. But you can easily change that if that's you. Easily. Instead of being the doomsday person or the what if this happens, what if that happens, start writing that gratitude list every morning, because there's so much anybody who's watching this has to be grateful for, because there's so many people in the world who don't even have a computer, who can't even get on don't have a mobile phone, who don't have to who have to worry about where their food is coming from. And but it takes work. You have to train yourself, because I used to be that negative Nancy, right? I used to be that person in my business, everywhere. I mean, that's kind of the household I grew up in. If it was cloudy out, somebody in my house would talk about how it's going to rain instead of somebody talking about the sun breaking through the clouds. So all it takes is a little shift in your practices, and your mindset will also shift with it.
Yep, absolutely. And also your habits, like not watching TV or not watching the news, was really impactful for me as well. And yeah, on the topic of mindset, love not fear. It's my other passion project that I'm pushing. You can check it out on lovenotfear.com. The idea is that every decision in life you either make out of love or out of fear. These are the two basic emotions why you do everything that you're doing. And if you act out of fear, you're on the wrong path. If you act out of fear, you're on the wrong. If you act out of love, you're on the right path. For example, I'm a recovering introvert. I would have never in a million years being on a live stream here, or public speaking was out of the question. Because I've always thought about me. What do people think? Do they think what I'm saying is stupid? Do you think I have a weird German accent. Do you think I look weird? And but if I do it for others, if I share, because what I'm sharing here can help you potentially in your life or in your business, then it becomes very easy. And I'm very happy to do this and present. Or selling. I used to hate sales with a passion, but if I'm selling you something because I know this can help you in your life and your business, it becomes very easy. Versus if I just sell because I have to pay my mortgage, I can't sell for the life of me. So yeah, check out loveandfear.com and please act out of love and not out of fear. On the topic of selling, please join, if you think this is valuable for you, you can join Managing Happiness. You can join the DIY courses and you can take all the courses yourself. It's just $49 per year. We made it on purpose very affordable for everybody. So you can go through the course by yourself and consume this information and join the community and learn and meet others. But if you really want to be on your personal A game, I can highly recommend that you join one of the cohorts where you meet with 6 to 8 entrepreneurs or A players in business and a coach that will walk you through the Managing Happiness program. Because if you do it together with others, a few magical things happen. A, you're going to complete it. DIY courses you buy and you never complete. That's just a known fact. But if you do it in a cohort, it's a different game. You do not want to be the person who's not doing the homework. It's just like how we're wired as humans. And also, peer learning is a really powerful thing once you compare your mission and vision with other people's missions and visions or their goals, and you can really refine what you're piecing there together. So if you want to join us, please go to managinghappiness.com and sign up for the program. And you can also sign up for Michael's next cohort, which starts on February 28th at 1 p.m. Yeah, and Michael will walk you through the Managing Happiness course.
Yeah, it's super powerful to, do it with a group. I mean, there's nothing more powerful than building community and connection and supporting each other along the road of life. So many of us have tried to do it alone and make it so much harder on ourselves than we need to. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I never wanted to ask for help because I thought it would make me look weak. But I realized it was only hurting myself by doing that. And actually, strength comes from asking and supporting other people. That's where strength comes from. So I encourage you to sign up for the program. And if you have any questions, reach out to myself or David.
All right, beautiful. And yeah, you can reach me at david@henzel.com, and you can reach Michael at michaelg-.com. But you can also just join the Managing Happiness community and put in a forum post or reach out to us via chat. And yeah, we're looking forward to having you in the community.
Absolutely. I'm super passionate about this. Obviously, David is as well, because he is the inventor and creator. And, we will provide as much support as you need along the way and help you elevate your lives, including your businesses and your families and your friends and community.
All right. Awesome. Michael, thanks for joining me on this, and thank you for pushing Managing Happiness and providing so much value. Really appreciate you. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Look, we made it under 30 minutes. Perfect timing.
Yeah, I'm German, man. Everything has to be properly on time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
You've reminded me many times. Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Take care.
All right. See you guys in the cohort.